Hey, this is Max from the Heavy Crawls, right from Ukraine. And thanks for calling me. This is my first interview for American radio. It's quite an honor to me.
How did the heavy crawls get started, and who are your major influences?
The Heavy Crawls started a year ago. It was October 2015. And before that, the band existed as The Crawls without Heavy. And we were a two-piece band, means a drummer. We played together for more than 2 years. We recorded 2 albums and played some festivals, lots of gigs, and it was a fun time. But we were not good friends, and lots of quarrels and problems were in our band from the very beginning. So it was very difficult to play together. And one day I just said that I can't stand it anymore, and we decided to break up. But as I told you, we got 2 albums, and it was very good songs. I I really wanted them to exist, and this is why I decided to find another drummer and a keyboardist. Not so it won't be a duo no more, but a three-piece band. So I called the drummer Ines. I knew her for a long time, but never played together with her, and I just invited her to play with me. She knew me, and she knew I'm good at playing guitar. And yeah, we started playing together. And later on, I called my very close friend Ira or Irene, depends on how you pronounce it. And I invited her to play some percussion and keyboards, and this is how it started. We started playing our old songs. I mean, my own old songs from the Crawls, and simultaneously working on new material, writing new songs. And this is how we recorded I Had to Get Away. And a few days later, she said I had to wait, and these songs became a part of our program, of our concert program from the very beginning. We became the Heavy Crawls. And our major influences are pretty much the same. All members of the band are huge fans of Led Zeppelin, of Jimi Hendrix, of Cream, Allman Brothers, and of course Black Sabbath. And from modern bands, this is Dead Meadow, Dead Weather, Black Keys, and the others. So mostly blues rock.
So you are from the Ukraine. Tell us a little about being a rock band there in Ukraine and some of the positives and negatives. Any other good bands at all from the Ukraine that we might want to know?
Well, being a rock band in Ukraine is quite tough, especially because some economical and political issues. Our country is quite poor. Like average salary is $200 a month, and it's quite difficult to buy a good guitar, an amplifier, or whatever else. But we got lots of rock bands. Most of them suck, really, and it's not a kind of music that's popular in Ukraine. Like people like to listen to crap, really. Like the most popular bands are like some funny pop music, or it's really crap. But we've got some good bands, and you might have heard about Stone Cheeses or Somali Yacht Club or Synoptic. They're quite good at stoner music and hard rock. As far as I know, Ginger is a good metal band, but I'm not big fan of metal, so I can't say whether it's true or not. But they are very popular all around the world, so I guess they are good at this. And of course, the Heavy Crawls, yeah.
How did you end up with such a cool lineup? Basically, no bass, keyboard, guitar, drum. That's cool. It's interesting. How did you end up with that?
I was playing with drummers, me and the drummer, and nobody else since 2009. It's quite a while, quite a long time. I mean, and and once I found this good piece of metal called Morley Line Selector. It was a metal box with two inputs and one output, or vice versa, one input and two outputs. So I tried playing two amplifiers and changing them with a special button, so I could play either only guitar, either only bass, or both amplifiers. And it was fun. I thought, why do I need a bass player if I can do it by myself? And it's even better because nobody needs to learn his lines, and it was very interesting. So later on I was developing it and using some special pedals like Digitech Whammy, so I could not just use a bass amplifier but also tune it down for the whole octave. And wow, I could play a proper bass, I mean low bass. It was very interesting. So yeah, we were playing just me and the drummer, and I was using this guitar amplifier and bass amplifier. And lots of people who heard us live, they believed we have some other guy who was playing bass. Yeah. So when I decided to invite the third person to the band, I wanted it to be something interesting like tambourine or, I don't know, keyboards. Why not? So this is how it all became the Heavy Crawls, with no bass, but on the other hand with lots of bass, because our keyboards play bass lines, and I play bass with my guitar. So yeah, we do not need another bass player. We got enough bass by ourselves.
I really love the new album. It's really good. It's very diverse. What does your songwriting process look like, and how long did it take you to record the album?
It's a pretty good question. Well, we needed 11 months to make it happen. We started recording our first songs in October last year, and we finished it on September. So it was a huge piece of work, really. How it goes? Well, sometimes I feel the song, like the complete song. I hear the music, I hear some lyrics in my head, and I hear drumming, and I just explain to the other musicians like what I want to play. Sometimes it's a collective work process. I mean, we just jamming, doing something, and if we hear something good, we try to record it, or at least to remember and to record it later. And to me, the most difficult piece of I'm sorry. To me, the most difficult part of songwriting process is lyrics, because I don't want make no mistakes, especially because I am Ukrainian native, not a English speaker, and I want my lyrics to be good, and also I want them to be interesting. I know that rock music is all about girls and fun and wherever, but some of my lyrics are about my some inner problems or my inner stories. And songwriting process is very personal to me. Like writing music is mostly fun. We're just playing, jamming. I have lots of guitars, like around 10, some of them in my studio, some of them at home, and I just play them every day, and sometimes something good happens. And the lyrics, sometimes I need few minutes to finish the song, sometimes I need a month, and then I can rewrite them anyway. So yeah, I want them to be better anyway. Yeah, I also have my studio, and it was 2010 when I realized I just cannot work for some other guy, and just cannot stand in office and sit in front of the computer and do this job. Though I have high education as a English translator, interpreter, but no, man, it's not my thing. I always want to be a musician, but you also need money, and it's quite tough to earn money by playing some music if you're not famous, just some bars and whatever. So I took a loan and opened my studio. Yeah, I needed few years to give all the money back, and it was quite successful few years ago. Now we want to open up a new studio, a bigger one, a better one with great amplifiers and microphones and whatever, like a proper professional studio. And yeah, I record other band there. I mean, this is my job. I'm not just a musician. I'm also a sound guy, sound engineer. I record bands, I mix, and I master their songs.
What are your plans for your band moving forward? You plan on staying there in Ukraine, or do you guys have any kind of plans to move to the United States?
Well, our plans to move forward is to find a major label. We've just released our newest album. This is the third album, or the first by the Heavy Crawls, or the third if to count from the very beginning. And I love it very much. It's my favorite album. I recorded lots of albums with few bands, so I can swear this is my favorite and this is the best of what I've written. And I hope we can find a label to release it. We will be able to tour to Europe, maybe to United States, to Southern America, everywhere. I hope so. And about staying in Ukraine or moving abroad, well, we'd love to tour first. We need to find our audience, find new friends, find new listeners, and then we'll see. I love my country a lot, and I hope I can live here and travel all over the world with my band to tour. But I love to go to United States someday, both as a musician or maybe just as a tourist. I'd love to go there. So hopefully it'll be okay.
I know that you and I have talked a lot about your personal struggles of being there in Ukraine and sort of all that's going on there politically, and anything that you'd have to say about that?
Yeah, well, we are a proud nation with a long history, but for the last 100 years, the Russians they've they've made our life very difficult. First the Soviet Union, and now this war. It's like a bad neighbor. This war started 2 years ago, and they occupied and annexed Crimea, and then they started to go to the east of Ukraine, and lots of my friends became soldiers who had been musicians or students or whatever else before, and they've never supposed to be fighters, but no, it's kind of a duty to protect our country, and I respect them a lot. Some of them were killed, and this is very sad, and this is war, and nothing fun about it. So it's very difficult to live here because the prices have risen, and the salaries they only became lower, and lots of people starving. So it's very hard times for my country. And being a musician nowadays, it's very tough because not much people go to concerts or festivals like they had been doing before the war started and before all these events, this before 2014. So of course we are touring as a band and trying to survive, but you know you can feel it's the war going on the east of the country. It's far from the capital and far from all those cities where we play, but we feel it the atmosphere, feel it in the air. So very difficult to live, very difficult to play, very hard times.
On a lighter note, have you heard anything about Fargo? Tell us what a cool Ukrainian dude thinks of Fargo, North Dakota, if you've heard anything.
What? Well, I've heard it because of the movie, very famous, very popular movie by Coen Brothers, Fargo, yeah, and then a TV series. So it was very cool when you heard about me. Imagine that. I could never think about it before. Very cool.
Favorite part of living in Ukraine? Least favorite? I know we've talked a lot about Ukraine, but I also know that's a lot, part of your existence as a band and as a person. So, anything else you have to say about Ukraine?
Well, this is a country with a very long history. Our capital was founded like 1500 years ago, and I am proud of it. I love the geography, the history of my country. I love the nature, it's beautiful. I love most of the people, and I love traveling my country, performing here, and living here. I wish someday it will be okay. We will join European Union, and the war will be over, and everything will be fine. One day, I believe it.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you. That was Max from the Heavy Crawls. You're on 95.9 Radio Free Fargo.
This is Max from the Heavy Crawls, and you're listening to Midnight Madness on Radio Free Fargo 95.9.